Jerry Mastrangelo.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Jerry Mastrangelo, and I'm from East Haven, Connecticut. I'd like to thank Senator Coleman, Representative Fox, Senator Kissel, and the rest of the Judiciary Committee for their time this evening. I've been part of the system since 2005. I was divorced in 2007. I was given joint legal custody with a very liberal parenting plan. I'm a proud father of 14-year-old triplets who I love and I admire dearly. I was a very involved father until 2010 when a form of child abuse took over called parental alienation. My children have been kidnapped by my ex-wife and their stepfather. And I have been raped by the current broken family court system. The abuse in my case captured the attention of Senator Fasano, which led to the bill that was presented, Bill number 6685. I have not had any meaningful contact with my children in now 3.5 years. However, I will continue to fight, and I'm currently fighting to be back in their lives where I belong. My children have had no contact with their immediate family. I'm a strong advocate of shared parenting and GAL and AMC reform. There are hundreds of families throughout Connecticut that are being financially and emotionally devastated by what I call legalized corruption. I am strong support of Bill number 494 as a start of change. Changes are desperately needed. Hundreds of families are being taken advantage of from many GALs, attorneys, and mental health professionals. Children need and deserve involvement from both parents with frequent and meaningful contact. I have spent nearly $300,000 fighting this broken system. Much of that money has been spent to enforce court orders and trying to restore my visitation. The one thing I can guarantee you is the more lucrative your financial affidavit is, the more conflict you can expect to have. Our current system is often based upon your financial affidavit rather than what is truly in the best interest of our children. I often ask if the children's best interest is even in amongst the top 5. My GAL attorney, Lynn Pellegrino, is part of what I call the New Haven fraternity. She was appointed in 2006 and remained along for the ride right through 2013. I paid her nearly $65,000 at a rate of $300 an hour. Her lack of actions has led to where I am today. She ignored a family relations report which expressed concerns needing to limit the then boyfriend's contact and involvement with my 5-year-old children's. Report noted his involvement leading to parental alienation, which had finally took place in 2010. She allowed my children to go on vacations with my ex and her boyfriend prior to divorce. This was okay in her opinion. She never visited my home, which is considered protocol. She testified at a hearing in June of 2010 that our family was beyond counseling. In 2010, she allowed 11-year-old children simply not to comply with court orders, a court-ordered parenting plan. She simply said, "What am I to do?" She never reported this to the court. She would privately meet with my ex and or my children and not keep me informed of those meetings. She never reported to the court the non-compliance of court-appointed reunification therapy. She would visit my alienated children along with the AMC at their mother's house. Those visits would cost over $1,000. I would get charged for traveling time. Now, who in this room wouldn't want to get paid $300 and actually $600 an hour, $300 apiece, for getting in their car and driving to work. She refused to provide me notes when I asked for those. My AMC, I was billed over $65,000, who I currently still employ. She has not encouraged any contact between my children and I during the past year and a half. I own 5 businesses and employ about 120 people. However, in 2010, I was suddenly employing about 127, only one of which I hired, which was my attorney. This became my lineup. GAL at $300 court appointed per hour. AMC, $300 court appointed. A reunification therapist, $200 an hour. He was out of network. A co-parenting therapist, $250 per hour. He too out of network. A children's therapist, $190 per hour, out of network. And then there's good old Dr. Sidney Horwitz from Waterbury. Psychological evaluations for the family, which were ordered, close to $20,000. In addition to that, he charges $375 an hour. But if driving in your car and earning $300 isn't good enough, well, Dr. Horwitz actually charges for his thinking time. Imagine that, thinking. Who in this room wouldn't want to get charged for their thinking at $375 an hour? That's Dr. Horwitz. Now, if you add all those up, it's $1,915 an hour. Often there was meetings, phone calls. My share of that was $1,550 per hour. I consider myself a loving and caring and dedicated parent. No allegations of abuse, no allegations of neglect, but yet there's sex offenders, there's convicted felons. There are people in prison who have more time with their children than I do. GALs are often appointed as part of a lucrative revenue stream. Judges, up until very recently, have been very quick to appoint them. Our current legal system, Connecticut Bar Association, they want to deceive you and minimize the problems. They want you to believe that the problems are limited to small amounts of high conflict cases. They want you to believe that complaints are only from unhappy litigants. They want you to believe that parents are the real cause of the problems instead of our broken system. People who generally make these claims financially benefit from the dysfunction and do not want to jeopardize the potential loss of income. If you want to reform this system, you could start by limiting the appointment of GALs. And when they are appointed, it should be for very specific reasons. Try and limit the discretion. The discretion throughout Connecticut from family law judges are often abused. There's no continuity throughout Connecticut. Define the specific roles of the GALs and have them report back. GALs have become secondary judges in our courtrooms. Remove the immunity. We had at our last public hearing, the person who runs the GAL said her name was Ms. Class, I believe, that there wouldn't be any GALs if they didn't have immunity. I say just the opposite. That's why they're as reckless as they are. They have no exposure, they do what they want, and they don't have to worry about any consequences. Rotate from different geographical areas and get rid of that good old boy network, as Senator Fasano pointed out. There needs to be more supervision, more training, more oversight. There needs to be legitimate ways to remove GALs, not the current system, which is simply fraudulent. There's many important issues facing Connecticut residents today, whether it's education, taxes, gun control, minimum wage, which we recently heard quite a bit about. However, in my opinion, no topic is more important than protecting our children and families. Hopefully, Connecticut, like many other states, have realized change is finally needed. If you want our children to be healthy and productive adults, I hope you will consider the necessary reform. Thank you for your time and consideration. And one last thing, There was a movie which some of you might have seen called Divorce Court, an hour-and-a-half documentary, and not that it should make any of us feel any better, but the problems that we're facing in Connecticut with our broken system is actually happening throughout the country. So if you get a chance, it's an hour-and-a-half documentary. It was narrated by Dr. Drew, and he did a wonderful job pointing out all the problems throughout the country. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Are there questions for Mr. Mastrangelo? Thank you for your testimony.
You're welcome.